I am the Director of Elementary Faith Formation here at Our Lady of Mount Carmel. I've been here since 2011 is when I first started, and I started as an intern here and then was eventually hired on as the director for the Elementary Faith Formation. Oh, I'm originally from Sonoma County, so Northern California. A very small town called Cloverdale, if you can't tell by the name of it. It's about an hour and a half north of San Francisco. Coming out of I went to a Catholic university, and coming out of the university, I was looking for a good community to kind of plug into, and so my college roommate is from San Diego, and she invited me down, and she was actually here at Our Lady of Mount Carmel, and that's, the rest is history. That's how I got plugged in here. I kind of just came here on a whim. When I came out to San Diego, I didn't really have a plan. I didn't have a job. I came just kind of, like I said, looking for that community. And so I just kind of went for it where I saw there was a good community, and just kind of trusted that God was going to take care of me. I don't know if that was the smartest move on my part, not really having a plan set, but he truly did. He was faithful through the whole process, and provided just the right people at the right time, like you've said, and just put me where I needed to be, and provided, made the stepping stones to get me to where he wanted me to be. Yes, I'm definitely a Cradle Catholic. I have an aunt who is a Dominican sister, a great aunt who's a Dominican sister, and when my parents left the hospital after having me, they drove directly to the convent where my great aunt was, and all my family was there waiting. And I, at 2 days old, got passed around from sister to sister there, and so so I guess that's as cradle as it gets. So. Oh, that's a good question. I was asked to participate in ministry when I was 18 years old. The deacon at my parish, my home parish, he saw that I was getting more involved in my faith as an 18-year-old, I guess I was at the time. And he asked if I would teach a CCD class, and I was a little surprised by it because I was coming into my faith still, and didn't really feel like I knew a lot, and so I kind of thought he was crazy for asking me. But yeah, he asked me to teach a third grade CCD class, and I just from there kind of fell in love with it, and here I am. So I taught for maybe a couple years at my home parish there, and then from there I decided to go on to study theology and catechetics at a university out in Ohio. And so because that was, I really didn't know what I wanted to do before that, and that kind of solidified it for me, that I wanted to go into teaching. And so I went to visit the campus there, and actually the girl that I stayed with on campus, she was in the catechetics program there, and I didn't really know what that was, and so she's like, well, why don't you come with me to some of my classes and sit in, and when I did that, I knew, I was like, oh, this is actually what I want to do, not just strictly teaching, but teaching children about the faith. So, there have been so many throughout just different ages, different stages of my life, but I think currently it would probably have to be Father Pat Murphy. He's been very influential on my faith life. Well, Probably about 5 years ago, I started spiritual direction with him, and it was a really kind of dark time for me, and he invited me to come see him for spiritual direction, and just through the last 5 years of his formation, I've just it's been life-changing. I think St. Francis has had a real presence in my life, and I think maybe I wasn't even, maybe subconsciously, he's always been there. I'm one who has a deep love for nature and the natural world, and in college I was taught by the Franciscan friars, and I just hold them very dear to my heart. They were also ones who were very influential for me. Another aspect of St. Francis that just kind of really resonates with me is just his approach to life in all areas, of his life. His approach was very simple. And I feel like for myself, the greatest joys that I get are out of the most simple things. It's always been something that I've found a lot of joy in. It's just the simplicity of life, and just the essentials. I feel like in during this quarantine time, I have really just kind of been thinking about, like, okay, what is God really wanting me to get out of this and this time? And something that we talk about in Catechism of the Good Shepherd that Sophia Cavalletti, the founder of Catechism of the Good Shepherd, says is that the children, they only want the essentials, that they find the greatest joy in the essentials. And so for me, just spending this time reflecting on, like, what are those essentials, both spiritually as well as just materialistically, like what is it that is most essential to us that we need, and just kind of taking that and making that be the core of my faith. Yeah, I think my greatest joy in ministry is really just the children. I really, all I'm doing here is providing an opportunity, providing an environment for that connection between the child and God to take place. And then the Holy Spirit really does the rest of it. And then I really get to, I feel like I received the biggest gift of that, because I get to experience their relationship with God, and get to just play a minor role in that, and but get to actually be there to witness it and watch it kind of take place and unfold as it's happening. I always have a stack of books, so it's like, which one? But I guess the book that's on the top right now of my pile of books is it's gosh, I can't remember the name of it. Travels with Charlie by John Steinbeck. And I picked it up this summer actually in a thrift store, and John Steinbeck is classic. So, but it's actually been very good. It's very insightful to the American culture, actually. So, I would love to go to Spain. Not now, obviously, but but when all this is over, I think Spain would maybe be my next. I've been told Barcelona, and mostly I think Barcelona, mostly because I enjoy art, and I've heard that the culture there is very centered around art, and so yeah.